Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Will here, and today I just wanted to make this quick video giving new Lyft and Uber drivers a piece of advice that can help them out and inspire them to keep driving when first getting started. Because the thing that I hear from people who watch this channel, I've heard it from passengers that have started driving for Lyft and Uber, and I've even experienced it myself, is that when you first get started, you'll go out, you'll drive for about 3-4 hours, and you don't really make any money. Now, in my particular situation, I went out one time, I drove for like 4 hours and I only made $40. And I know for a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll stop, they'll go out the next day, they'll try it again, work for about 2-3 hours. And they're like, man, same thing happens. Like, it didn't really make any money. And they're like, what the hell? Like, this, it doesn't work. Like, what am I doing wrong? Why am I not making money? Why is everyone saying I can make $20-$25 an hour and I'm only averaging $10 an hour? And it's just not worth it when you consider the gas that you're wasting, the mileage that you're putting on your car, and the time that you spend driving. It's just like, it's not worth it. So pretty much that piece of advice is very basic and simple, and it is drive. Just drive more. When you first get started and you go out, it can be frustrating at times, but the thing is that you're new and you don't really, it's not much to really know, but it's like you don't have a feel for it yet. And for some reason, I don't know why it happens like that, unless you just happen to go out on like a Friday or Saturday night. It just seems like people who go out and start driving, they only make like $10 an hour most of the time. Not in all situations, but most of the time. So my advice is if you're new, for the first 3 days, the first day, the second day, and the third day, plan to don't even worry about even if you lose money with it being like with your gas and stuff like that. It'll start to average out. What you need to do is plan to drive as much as you possibly can for those first few days. What I would suggest is driving no less than 4 to 5 hours straight, meaning don't cut the app off. Take your little break after you drive 4 or 5 hours, and then get back out there for another 3 or 4 hours, and just keep driving. Go ahead and bust out an 8-hour day, a 10-hour day. 6 hour, bust out a 6-hour day at the least, and you'll start to see the money average out. What happens is that, like, for me, I went out, I drove for 4 hours, I only made $40. I was like, what the hell? But I didn't cut off my app, I didn't stop. And then next thing you know, I ended up getting a ride for like $30, and then another ride for like $20, and then another ride for $15, and then another ride for $15. And by the time 7 hours hit, I had averaged my $20 an hour. And by the end of the week, since I was doing Lyft, I also got my power driver bonus, which boosted me all the way back up to around the $25 an hour range for 40 hours in a work week. So that's pretty much how it goes. If you're looking for how to drive, I would say start out at your apartment, your house, or whatever building you're at, and cut on your app, maybe sit there for 5 minutes, and then head to the city in your area, in your market. Head downtown, drive around downtown, hit every street downtown. If you haven't gotten a ride yet, hit every street. And when you're driving on these streets, pay attention to what streets have the most hotels, the most restaurants, the most bars, any type of art museums or theaters, anything that could possibly help you in the future to know that, hey, it's probably going to be a lot of people hanging out in this general area where I can get ride requests at. And you know, that'll just be something to keep in the back of your mind. Drive around downtown. If you still haven't gotten a ride yet, drive a little bit outside of the downtown area, inner city, but outside of downtown. Still haven't gotten a ride, head out to the suburbs, drive around the suburbs. By this time, you should definitely have gotten a ride. Don't worry, even if you waste 30 minutes to an hour doing this for your first few days, you'll start to get the hang of it. Now, when you finally do get a ride, wherever that drop-off is at, hang around in that area for a little while. See if you get a ride. If you don't get a ride, head back to the area where you originally got that ride request from. If it was a short ride, excuse me, if it was a short ride, then it really won't matter too much because you'll already be in the area. And then just head back, either downtown or to the suburbs or to the inner city area that seems to be more populated, and continue to drive. Now, the good thing about going ahead and driving a lot of hours is that, for one, no matter what, if you put in 8 hours in that first day, six to 8 hours in that first day, you're definitely going to get quite a few rides. and you're going to start to get a little bit of a feel for it. So if you do that for 3 days straight, you're definitely going to get a good feel for your city and how it works. I wouldn't suggest going to the airport at all if you're just starting out, unless that's something you just plan to do permanently, because you already know what that entails. You just kind of sit at the airport and wait. I would only suggest doing airport rides if you have something else that you can be working on in the meantime, like you have a laptop with internet on it, maybe you have a blog, maybe you can be doing some other type of work, anything like that. I'm feeling raspy today. So yeah, do that. But basically the main point that I want to make is that you want to drive as much as possible, and it will start to average out. And by the end of those 3 days, you'll get a good feel of your city, of where you need to be, whether that be the suburbs during a certain time of day, or whether it be downtown during a certain time of day. Obviously on Friday and Saturday nights, it should go without saying that wherever there are a lot of bars and nightclubs at and restaurants, that's probably going to be an area good for picking up people, as well as in the suburbs, because people are going to want to be going out, as well as people will be wanting to get picked up from their friend's house to go back home. Maybe they were partying at their friend's house or hanging out at a friend's house during the weekend. So those are going to be good times to drive. And yeah, I hope this all helps. One other thing that I would suggest, this is something you can start from day one, but it kind of helps you more long term to get an understanding of your market as well, is whenever you're not driving for Lyft or Uber, always just open up your app every time, every so often throughout the day. Open up your Lyft and Uber app and just move the map around and look, see what areas are actually surging. And what you'll start to do is you'll start to see a pattern of certain areas in your city that surge often. Even though surging is pretty sporadic, you'll start to see areas that surge, which means that what surging is, if you don't know, if you're a new driver, is basically there are more passengers requesting rides in a particular area than there are drivers to service those rides. So what Lyft and Uber do is they charge the passenger more money. And as a driver, if you catch one of those surges, let's just say it's 100% surge, that means on a typical ride that you might take someone that might cost them $5, and you might make $5 on the ride. Instead of making $5, if it's 100% surge, you will make $10 for that ride. And it shows up in either pink or red, depending on what app you have. It looks like a blob. And you can see it on the app where it's surging. And if you frequently just open up your app every so often throughout days and weeks and months, and you just look, you'll start to understand what areas happen to have surges. And that'll let you know that, oh, maybe in this area it might be a better place to go during this time of day. Like obviously at 5 o'clock, there might be certain areas on your map that surge and you don't even know what it is. You might drive over there and you'd be like, oh, it's a business park. It's just like a business park. Or it's downtown, which obviously people are getting off work. Or late at night, it might be surging in certain areas all the time during a certain time, because that's where a lot of bars and restaurants happen to be at. So I hope that information helps. Again, just drive as much as possible. The money will start to average out. Don't stop. Even if you feel like, oh, I've been out here for 4 hours and I've only made $40. Like I said, with my particular situation, it averaged out because, I was getting all those short rides and wasn't really making any money. And then next thing you know, having to deal with traffic. And then next thing you know, boom, got a few long rides that kind of boosted the average back up. So get out there, drive, make money. Hope that helps. Again, my name is Will with The Passive Driver. Like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, peace.